Hi everyone. Please call your friends as well so we can start very soon. So guys, we'll be starting sharp at 1:10. So if any of your friends are yet to join, please call them ASAP and then we'll begin with the session. Hello. So, very good afternoon, everyone. Um, I am Kripa Pai, and I'm a fourth year undergraduate student pursuing aerospace engineering. And I'll be serving as a DAMP coordinator for the tenure of 2026-27. Just give me a second, I'll present my screen and then we can begin with the session. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, your screen is visible, Kripa.
So, welcome to SOPHOMORE 101. This session is supposed to cover everything that a sophomore in the aerospace department needs to know before you transition into your second year, right from knowing which core courses you'll be having, which is something that is going to be very new to all of you compared to the common courses that you've been covering in your first year. We'll also be discussing something very, very important for sophomores, which is all the electives that you'll be choosing going forward. There are different types of courses that we'll be looking at, from flexible electives to ALCs. You can also pursue honors in your respective department. You can pursue minors, something which a lot of people are interested in. And apart from academics, also, whether it is talking about research opportunities in the aerospace department or pursuing opportunities beyond your department, this is something that we'll be covering over the next hour. So let us begin. Firstly, like I mentioned, why is this session important? As a sophomore, there are a lot of new checkpoints that you'll be going through throughout your second year, whether it is related to academics, and the first part being course registration, or whether it is resume making, which is going to be very important, especially from an internship and placement point of view. And apart from that, taking up POR, something which a lot of you might have already gone through, and a lot of other things as well. So that is something that we will essentially be looking at. Firstly, I'll be introducing you to the DAMP team, uh, the student body, which in collaboration with UGAC has conducted this session. So firstly, what exactly is DAMP? So it is the Department Academic Mentorship Program. It is the official mentoring initiative from the institute side for sophomores specifically, but we also cater to first year, third year, and fourth year students in general. This is specific to every department, which makes it a lot more niche than the kind of mentorship which you must have seen in your first year. So in your first year, you must have had ISMP mentors, which may or may not have been from your department. But in your second year, you are allotted mentors from third and fourth year from your department. So the guidance that is provided to you is a lot more niche in terms of academics, in terms of career guidance, or even personal problems for that matter. The entire objective of this program is to create an environment where any sophomore, if they have any kind of doubt, they have a mentor to refer to, they have the right resources, and they have the right people to guide them. So, like I mentioned, wing wise, every sophomore wing is allotted a senior mentor, and then they guide them throughout the year in all kinds of issues. The DAM team also has a lot of initiatives that they work towards throughout the year. So we conduct a lot of sessions. There are help sessions, just like the TSCs you had in your first year. There's a resume making session, which is very important. We also have a lot of career guidance sessions. And apart from that, we also have our own blog, which I'll be displaying in the upcoming slides. We also curate resources. There are PYQs for every course that are collected, and not just core courses, but also other electives. There are a lot of other resources that we curate in terms of the department handbook that we have. So all of these are something that the DAM team works towards. And I am the DAM coordinator. I'm a fourth year student. So in case any issue escalates to a level where it needs intervention by a student who is senior, I come into the picture. So I'll be introducing you to the DAM team. So as I mentioned, I'm the DAM coordinator. We have six continuing mentors who are also fourth year students. These are my matchmates. And these are the third year students. So essentially, some of these will be your mentors in for the upcoming year. So this is the DAM team's Instagram handle. We very recently started our Instagram page. So you can scan this QR, go visit our site. All important updates regarding any sessions that we conduct, any important announcements will be posted on the Instagram handle as well as will be a part of the blog. Since Instagram is a much quicker way of communication, you'll probably see it there first. So make sure that you stay updated on that page. And as I mentioned, we have the department handbook. It has a lot of resources, whether it is related to uh, your curriculum, whether it is related to CEMEX, if you have any other doubts regarding different research opportunities, all of these, you'll see a lot of information that is a part of the handbook already and will be updated in the future as well. And the DAM blog is the department's DAM blog, where there are a lot of different subsections, and you'll see a lot of information being passed there. It is constantly being updated, so a lot of more information is also on your way. These slides will also be shared post the session, so you can refer to these uh, later as well. Next up, we want to introduce you to the Department Student Council, which is AEA, Aerospace Engineering Association. I would like to invite our Department General Secretary, Dipti Mishra, to introduce the council.
Hello. Hello.
Your voice is cracking a bit, but you're audible.
Oh, I'm not sure if
Yeah, you're audible right
the
now.
is not available there. Yeah. So, I'm Deepti Mishra, and I'm the General Secretary of our department. So, basically, here I'm representing the AEA Students Council. So, a lot of you might know the council because we organize a lot of department events like track day and different trips and treks. But apart from that, there is a lot of back-end work as well that goes on through the year. We also coordinate with different departments and then also works on student-related issues along with the DAM team. And we try to improve student experience in whatever we can. So, if any of you at any point feel like something in the department can be improved, or maybe you have some suggestions or concerns or issues, then you can definitely reach out to the student council, and we will always be happy to listen and help in whatever we can. So, yeah, I also some of the students from your own batch are part of the council. So if you ever feel more comfortable talking to them first, then you can definitely reach out to them, and they can always bring your concerns to us, or you can directly contact me as well. I have provided my contact number as well as the email ID, so you can definitely reach out to me. So, our major goal being the member of a council is to make your experience in the department much more smoother and better. So if you feel you have any concerns, do not hesitate to reach out to us, and we would definitely be more than happy to help. So thank you everyone. And now I would like to forward to Mukti.
Thank you so much, Dipti. Next up, we have our Department Research Coordinator, Mukti Radhe. Mukti, if you could please uh, describe what exactly your work covers.
Hello everyone. Am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so hi, I'm Mukti Radhe. I'm a third year student and I will be the department research coordinator for this tenure. So my role majorly here is to promote research and core culture within the department. I would also be responsible for sharing any new opportunities in core research for a better exposure. So, the main difficulties that we face with core research is the absence of a lot of opportunities and, moreover, the lack of awareness. So, to bridge this gap, can I have the next slide? Yes, so to bridge this gap of unawareness, we have formed an IITB research community and specifically an aerospace SIG, which is a student interest group. You all can join the group using this QR. So this group will be majorly used to update everyone with any new research related opportunities and all even academic resources. And also this group can be used for an open discussion. Like people are free to share any research they are pursuing right now, or if any junior has any doubts up to like where to start from, or if they have an idea but they're not sure how to go about it, you can discuss on this group because this group will be majorly used for research related opportunities and research related discussions. On this pane, you also have my contact details. You can feel free to reach out to me anytime for any doubt about research or anything. Like if you're confused about where to begin with, or if you have an idea and you do not know who to approach, I will always be there to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukti. Next up, as I mentioned, this session is in collaboration with UGAC. So we'd like to invite the UGAC reps to come up and talk about their respective bodies.
Thank you so much, Prabha. So, hi everyone, I'm Devashri Patil, Academic Coordinator at SSS, and I'll be walking you through everything we do and the initiatives we take to make your academic life less stressful. Next slide, please. So, as sophomores, you'll soon start making some important academic decisions, whether it's choosing electives, exploring a minor or honors, or understanding tagging rules. UG Wiki brings all this information together in one place, making it much easier to find what you need. I'd recommend bookmarking it now. You'll probably find yourself coming back to it quite often as it will serve as handy reference whenever you have an academic query. Next slide, please. Before choosing your courses, it's important to understand all the options available. We conducted a course info session covering minors, honors, electives, ALCs, the credit systems, and the registration timelines, and seniors shared their experiences and practical advice. We have also provided the session recording, presentation slides, and access to a minor WhatsApp community. So you can revisit the information and ask any follow up questions to the seniors. Next slide. Yeah. We've all reached that one point in the semester where everything feels overwhelming. Exams are just around the corner and you really don't know where to begin. Then you notice a TSC session and suddenly things feel a little more manageable. An integral part of our first year, TSCs become even more valuable in the sophomore year as the core courses become more challenging. But whatever the semester throws at you, TSCs are here to help you. We have conducted numerous TSCs with a lot of seniors, and this year you can be those seniors by reaching out to us, especially for Excel sessions where we are looking for seniors proficient in regional languages. And if you like us to arrange a session for your common courses, feel free to reach out to us. Next slide. We're also responsible for collecting and uploading academic resources to Resume, the platform you relied on in our first year for notes, PYQs, and slides. Now it's your turn to give it back. Scan the QR code to upload your notes, PYQs, slides, project reports, or lab reports to help the next batch. You'll also find plenty of senior resources on Resume, including course reviews to help you make informed choices in your second year. Next slide. Before we end, scan these two QR codes. The first follows us on Instagram for updates, and the second adds you to the SSS Sophies on WhatsApp, where you'll get notified about sessions and important announcements. Next slide. This is our SSS team. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. And that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you, Devashri. Hey everyone, I'm Pratham. I'm an academic coordinator for Empower and a part of UGAC. Empower stands for Engineering Oriented Promotional Work Experience and Research. I'm going to talk about some of the new initiatives Empower has undertaken with the objective of helping promote research among the students. Next slide, please. Yeah, uh, so to help students understand more about research work going on in the various labs, we have Lab Open Day, where all the students can visit various laboratories and understand all about whatever goes on from the ongoing research to possible research opportunities. Next slide, please. Then come the undergraduate research awards known as the URAs. There are 3 URAs designed for students having a strong interest in research. URA 1 is for preliminary research development experience, and URA 2 is for BTPs, and URA 3 is for dual degree research projects. One perk that comes with these URAs is that URA 1 actually appears on your transcript with a PP grade, whereas URA 2 and URA 3 appear with a AA grade, which is actually a boost for your CPI. Next slide, please. We also have the Student Industry Connect initiative, an amazing initiative that directly connects students with industries and gives them hands-on exposure through various core-based competitions. Then we also have several booklets published, like the Research Pathways booklets, which provides information about various research journeys of ITB seniors along with their valuable guidance. Know Your Lab is one of our Instagram series which highlights active labs and projects and research opportunities across ITB. We also have many upcoming events planned throughout the year, our flagship event being ResCon, the Univenton booklet, and our Curious Community sessions, and many more. So be sure to stay tuned for those.
Thank you so much. So that was about UGAC. And now we move on to discussing the curriculum for you guys, which happens to be one of the highlights of this session. So firstly, till your first year, you guys only had common courses, which so whenever you did the course registration, you didn't have to choose your courses. But in your second year, you have to manually do your own registration. Now there are different types of courses which we'll be covering in depth in the upcoming slides. This is something that is going to be very new for second year students. So firstly, you have your core courses, which are the compulsory courses that you have to do. You'll be having 3 core courses and 2 labs in your third and your fourth semester. These are specific to your department. Apart from these as well, you'll be having a compulsory course, which I'll be displaying in the next slide, where we'll show a table regarding all the courses that you will be having. Minors is something we'll be covering in detail as well. So essentially, for students in the aerospace department, the credit requirement to get your BTech degree is 258 credits. There are different number of courses that you have to do. So firstly, you have 6 department electives. Now, department electives are basically courses within your department that you have the freedom to choose. STEM electives are electives again from other departments as well. These are interdisciplinary courses. HASMAT courses are similar to the courses that you did in your first year. So you have ENT courses, you have design courses for the same. And flexible electives are institute electives, essentially electives from absolutely any department that you can take. These are sort of, they're a wider umbrella compared to the other courses that you see. Retagging of courses is something that we'll discuss in detail a little later. It is not very relevant for you right now, but it is very important to know how it works because it comes in very handy when you're choosing your courses. These 2 links that you see here are important. So the first one is the curriculum website, the curriculum link. If you click on it, it is constantly updated and there are updates posted regularly on the website. This will help you understand what exactly it is that is expected from you in terms of completing your credits to be able to get your degree. and you have the UG course info booklet. Here also there is a lot of detailed information about how you choose your courses, how the retagging process works, how the tagging process works in general. So make sure that you have a look at that. These two documents are going to be very important for you as you progress. So types of courses. Firstly, department electives as we covered. These are additional courses offered by the respective department as well. HASMED electives are offered by HSS department. There's management, which is covered by SOM, there's ENT, design electives. All of these, they usually don't have any prerequisites. There may be, there's a allotment process that is done without any, on a random basis, essentially. You have STEM electives, and finally, flexible electives, which, as I mentioned, are electives from any of the above categories. So ALCs, now this is an important concept to cover. So when you take a course as an elective, whatever grade you get in it is essentially counted towards your CPI, and it plays an important role in determining what your SPI and CPI account for. But when you talk about ALC, whatever grade you get in this particular course is not counted in your CPI. So let's say you take a grade which you feel, you take a course which is relatively difficult to get a good grade in. In that case, you can tag it as an ALC, and then if you get a good grade in it, you can retag it later as an elective. And if not, it stays as the ALC, and your CPI is not affected in that case. So that is basically what an ALC is. Auditing a course is taking a course which you want to take just for the sake of learning, and the credits, whatever credits ka course you've taken, that essentially is not counted in the total credits that you've finished. So that is about auditing the course. Category 1 and 2 students are only allowed to take this. So category 1 students are those who have a CPA above 8 with no active backlogs. And there are 6 different categories. If you refer to the UG rulebook, you'll be able to see exactly how each category works. So a maximum of only 2 courses can be audited throughout the degree, and that AU tag is displayed right next to the course that you audit. Retagging for auditing a course is not an option. Please make sure you keep that in your mind in case you're someone looking to audit a course. And these are the courses that you'll be covering. This is again a part of the curriculum document that I spoke about. So in your third semester, you'll essentially be having these 3 core courses. You have these 2 labs. You have an economics course, which is again a compulsory course, a mandatory course. And you have these 2 courses, which is ES 250 and HS 250. This is important because here the 2 courses that I just talked about, ES and HS courses, these are PPNP courses, so these don't contribute to your CPI. However, it is important to pass in these, otherwise you'll have a back. And these are the courses for your fourth semester. Again, 3 core courses, 2 labs. There's a course by D250, which is essentially a lab. So again, the total credits are 6 credits, but you'll be covering a lot of different aspects throughout the course. And you have a 4 credit course offered by the physics department. These are all compulsory courses that you'll be having. In addition to these courses, you can choose to take electives or you can try to pursue a minor. Uh, exactly how do you go about it is something we'll be covering very soon. Registration process, very important. This is the time when you'll be needing a lot of guidance from your seniors, from your DAM mentors will be allotted to you soon. Registration can be a bit daunting, especially the first time when you do it. So it is important to pay a little attention to this particular process. So this is the registration timeline. You can have a look at the academic calendar as well. All the details regarding the same are provided here. Firstly, all departments publish it on the internal ASC regarding which courses that particular department will be offering, who the professor is, if there are any prerequisites. If you see any advanced courses, in that case, you're not eligible to take the course. Make sure that you see the tag interdisciplinary STEM elective written there. Then you can have a look at what the course content is. You can have a look at the grading statistics of the course in the previous years as well. All of this is a part of internal ASC. So make sure you have a look at that. We'll be covering having a separate session for how to go about registration as well because it can be a bit confusing. Then we have pre-registration for minor and high demand courses. So there is a specific set of courses which are usually a lot sought after. So for those courses, uh, allocation is done by the institute as well. And then the main registration that happens is done on a first come, first serve basis. This is the semester registration that I was talking about. This is done on an FCFS basis. Once the portal opens, you need to sort of race through to be able to get a particular course, since there are limited seats for everyone. So pre-registration, which I talked about for the minor and the high demand courses, happens on external ASC, whereas the main registration happens on the internal ASC. There is a separate portal by UGSC where you're directed to, and then you can select all your courses. Very important point here, it is very important to pay your fees and your SMA to before your registration. A lot of times people forget to pay the SMA, which results in a delay, and then you don't get courses because it's done on a first come first serve basis. So make sure that you do that before the registration. Retagging. So there are different tags that a course can get. One is elective, as I mentioned, and within electives also you can have STEM electives, HASMED electives, department electives. Apart from that, you have ALCs. Core courses are tagged by themselves. They are mandatory courses. You have honors courses. Honors is something we'll be covering in detail a little later. And then you have minors. So minor is essentially another degree that you take with you if you finish a set number of courses and a set number of credits. So the retagging happens twice. One is at the end of the third year and the end of the fourth year. So these are the two times when you'll be retagging a particular course. Very important point, there has been a recent policy change, so you can only retag a course once. So if you decide to take a particular course as an elective, and let's say you want to convert it into an ALC, you cannot retag it back to an elective a little later. So that is a very important point to note. Tagging of courses is something you need to keep in your mind because, like I said, there are different based on the tag that you give to a particular course, your SPI or CPI will be affected just according to that. So now we'll be covering minors. So firstly, a minor is basically a degree that you get in addition to your major. So your major is of course aerospace engineering, and a minor can be in any department. So some of the more sought after minors are DS minor, which is essentially data science. So C Mines minor is what it's called. You have a CS minor. You can have a Syscon minor, something quite relevant to people interested in pursuing core aerospace. You have entrepreneurship minor, there is management minor, robotics minor, electrical minor. You can pursue a mechanical minor, digital health, which is offered by the Koita Center of Digital Health. So these are different courses. Now, to be able to get the minor degree, you have to complete 30 credits. There is usually a minor basket for of courses for every minor. There are a set number of courses, and based on that, you can tag a course as minor. Once you finish that, and you finish 5 such courses, you basically get that degree, get a separate degree for that. So now we'll be looking, I'll be inviting a couple of speakers who will share their experience about taking a minor and how it worked for them. So firstly, we have Kashish Jain, who will be speaking about her DS minor that she pursued. Kashish, if you could please unmute yourself.
So, hi everyone. I'm Kashish Jain, fourth year from Aerospace Department. I'm currently pursuing my minor in AI and Data Science, which is offered by CMINds, which stands for Center for Machine Intelligence and Data Science. Today, I will give you a brief overview of what this minor is about, what you will learn, and how the course structure works. Next slide, please. So, let's talk about why students choose this minor. As we know, AI is being used in almost every engineering domain, be it aerospace, finance, robotics, manufacturing, consulting, etc. This minor gives you an exposure to machine learning and AI while also building your analytical and programming skills. Also, this minor opens a lots of opportunities beyond a core department. Whether if you're interested in software, analytical research, or even applying AI within our aerospace department. What do you actually study in the C Minds minor? You can study about data analysis, visualization, probability statistics, machine learning algorithm, and depending upon the electives you choose, you will also get exposure to deep learning and modern AI techniques. Overall, the courses are a combination of theory, programming assignments, and practical application. Next slide. Yeah. So let's look up about how the minor is structured. To complete a minor in any department, you need to do 30 credits of courses. So for C Minds, we have two compulsory courses, DS203 and DS303. Though DS303 has equivalent courses which you can do instead of DS303. Apart from this, you will take three more electives, which will be from the three different basket: mathematic, AIML, and application basket. You can choose all the three elective from any of this basket, and depending on your interest, you can either choose mathematic and oriented courses or be it application oriented courses, like if you want to explore more in CV or data analytics. So also to know more about more info on the minor, I have attached the link of the CMAN's website where you can explore more elective courses and learn more about the minor. If you if you're curious about AI and want to learn more about machine learning, I definitely encourage you to consider this minor. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kashish. Uh, so in case of any doubts, I've also attached the contact numbers for all of the speakers in the session. You can contact them later for any doubts as well. In the end, we'll have some time for Q&A. In case any of your doubts are not resolved, or if you're not comfortable sharing them out loud in the meet, you can definitely contact them later on. Next up, I'd like to invite my batchmate Lopamudra Bhuskar. She'll be talking about the CS minor that she is pursuing.
Hello.
Yes, Lopa, you're audible.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Lokamudra Biswal and I'm pursuing CS minor over here. So I'll give you a bit insights that what and all subjects or what and all courses you can take up to complete your minor. Next slide, please. So as mentioned before by Kashish, that for any department you need to complete 5 courses, that is of 30 credits. For CS, it's like you have to complete 4 MTech courses and 1 CS elective, means any elective which is offered by CSE department. So one of the common course which is very important is CS213, that is DSM. It is actually prerequisite for 2 to 3 courses, but still you can complete your CS minor even without doing 213 because there are other courses also. Last, if you look at the courses like in last autumn, data structures and algorithms was carried out, but as far as I know, this year, academic year, it's being conducted at spring. So it's better you look out at which MTech course is being carried out at which semester. In DSA, basically, you'll learn about stacks, queues, linked list, the basic topics which are taught in DSAs. And they'll mostly take up to trees. They won't teach much about trials. So, and coming to computer networks, here it's like it depends upon the professor that how they take up the course. Like in my case, it was they used to provide a list of videos that you have to watch and go. In class, you only have to discuss the doubts and questions. You will be having 2 quizzes in every class, 20 minutes in the beginning, 15 minutes at the end. And you'll be having your exams in labs. You won't have pen and paper to write. And For logic of computer science, it's basically a mathematics course. Here you'll mostly learn about propositional logics, first order logic, some non-deterministic finite state automata, and some of the things which are also present in the resume. So you can refer to that topics that what is given there. Professor mostly tries to communicate through Piazza. Piazza is a platform where all the lecture slides are being posted over there. In automata theory, I would say that is also a bit, you can say it's overlapping with logic for computer science. Uh, Here you learn about basically DFA and NFA, and you will learn about how to convert from DFA to NFA. Now, these terms might not make much sense, but when you take up this course, you will get to know more about it. For introduction to machine learning, 419 in our time it was in autumn, but this time they are trying to conduct in spring semester. So introduction to machine learning, this is again, there will be little machine learning topics and more will be of maths behind the machine learning concepts. Like if you are learning about linear regression and logistic regression, then professor tries to go behind the maths much rather than that of just teaching about the models. So you should expect that in exams, it's not like you learn something and you go and spit it out, but it's more often like if they change the function type, then how will the model change? So most of the questions in CS419 is like it's application based type questions only. Then design analysis of algorithm. Here CS213 is your prerequisite. In this case, I would suggest that here you will learn more about how algorithms were designed basically. There will be some problems related to NP-hard type problems, NP-complete type problems, and you'll learn about time complexity, space complexity, and models of computation. Discrete structure is again a sort of, you can say, mathematics type course only. Here you'll learn about combinatoric set theory, graph theory, then complexity theory. Coming to OS here you will have lab exams also, and you'll also have a bit of theory part. Then introduction to cryptography is something its CPI goes very high because CS people also they try to take this course. So I would suggest that even if you are not able to do introduction to cryptography, it's fine. CS416 has prerequisites of CS224. It's a newly introduced minor course, you can say. Next slide, please. Some of the electives that I have taken from CS minor is from the CSE department is 747. It's basically reinforcement learning. Here also it depends again upon professor. He might provide only videos to watch, and there will be only once in a week you'll have quiz, which you have to go in class and give it, and there will be doubt sessions. You'll have 3 programming assignments where you are not allowed to use AI, because if you are using AI, then you will be caught up and you will get a DAC over there. So think before you take this course. Then 7 to 8 is this is not open for second year. Sorry, this is open for second year students also. Here basically it is of deep learning in graphs and trees. I have attached a link over here. You can check almost what kind of topics they teach. And CS754 is not open for second year, it's for third year. But before you take this course, I would suggest that you do some basic ML type courses so that it becomes easier when you take this course. Again, there is some note that most of the electives, they don't open for second year students. So it's better like you do some of the basic prerequisites courses for the electives of CS minor, and just keep a look over the registration of the courses before you register, because you need to know that if you're taking any course in third year, what and all courses should be completed in your second year itself. And yeah, CPI cutoff, it do fluctuate from 7.5 to 9, because for DSA the CPI was 8.9 during my time, and for 419, as far as I remember, it was 9.2. So for computer networks it was like 7.5. So this varies, and and words of wisdom is, if you really like maths and computer theory, then CS minor is for you. Otherwise, it's better you carry out your DS minor. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Lopamudra. Next up, we have Akanksha Patel to be covering the SISCON minor. And please note, this is specifically relevant, very relevant to people who are interested in pursuing core aerospace. So watch out for all the knowledge that she has to pass. Akanksha, you can
Uh,
go ahead.
good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akanksha Patel, a fourth year aerospace engineering student. So, like, over the past 2 years, I have completed the complete minor of system and controls, like taking the 5 courses. So when I was in your place, like in the second year, deciding which minor to go with, so I had a lot of questions, like with what exactly the minor is it useful? So is the Syscon minor useful in aerospace? Like, is it too mathematical? And actually, is it worth it for like giving 5 courses? So like I'll today try to answer those questions for you because I have the answers with me right now. So yeah, next slide, please. So like we'll start with the basics, like what is systems and controls. So yeah, the syscon minor is systems and controls. So like what is system? So like imagine you are like flying a drone. So like the drone itself is a system. So like it has most motors, sensors, batteries, and it responds to the laws of physics. Okay. So now, so if we don't want to like crash the drone, we need to know how to correct it. So that decision making process is called control. Okay, so both of them, in simpler words, like a system is anything whose behavior can be described mathematically, and control is how we make that system behave in that way. So that is really what this field is about. Okay, so like next slide. So where is all control used for? Like everyone has this misconception like that. Uh, uh, so when I did it, so one misconception I had before taking this minor was that control theory was mostly for aerospace. But truth is that it is almost used everywhere. So like if you take this minor, it is obviously used in aerospace. We use it in flight control, satellite altitude control, in robotics, like every robotic arm uses control algorithms, right? And similarly in all other fields. So like even the current modern AI overlaps with control through optimization, reinforcement learning, and like adaptive controls, right? So many quantitative finance models also borrow the ideas of system control. So this is a very interdisciplinary field. So yeah, if you want to give it a shot, you should definitely give it. Next slide. So, like, why would you choose a Syscon minor? So, major reason is depth. Take every engineering department teaches some amount of control. For example, in aerospace, we study the aircraft control, but Syscon teaches the mathematical foundations behind control itself. So, instead of learning one application, you learn principles that can applied across robotics, automation, automatic vehicles, AI, and many other fields. So, like, if you are like really enjoy mathematics and like learning why things work, so not just how to use them, you should probably enjoy these courses. Uh, just a second. So yeah, so another huge advantage is that Syscon department is very research heavy. So this minor opens door for research projects too. Next slide. Uh, Krupa, hello. Yeah. So the curriculum is actually changed from 2025 batch. So now you need to complete like 30 credits by choosing two core courses and three electives. So like the first step should be like to choosing two courses from this basket, like the available courses in the list. And the next step, next slide. The next step is to choose three electives. So now you can select any SysCon courses offered by the department for the other three electives. So like what is the new? The like in the previous years we had as key we need to complete three compulsory courses like in the same sequence and like almost had to use all the same electives were used, but you are given a flexibility to choose your courses accordingly. So yeah, it is like much more easier for you guys now. So yeah, next slide. So while choosing your courses, so what courses should I take is not correct. So if you are interested in mathematical foundations, I would recommend courses like structures for control and system theory. Like first courses like these two courses are really related to linear algebra. So like if you enjoyed learning math MA courses like the linear algebra ones, then you should go take these courses. If you are robotics, if robotics excite you, then you can look at non-linear systems and intelligent control courses. And if you are interested in AIML, then these are the courses for you. It covers optimization and random processes. So next slide. Okay, so also like since you all are aerospace students, like the first question, do I really need SysCon minor if aerospace already teaches control? Like we have the core compulsory course and the third sem, right? So my answer to this is yes. If you are genuinely interested in controls, you should take this. The aerospace curriculum mainly teaches you how to apply the control concepts, but not in ultimate depth. But SysCon department teaches the theory behind each and every concept that you will be learning in the third semester. So yeah, you should definitely take it. It is not replacing any aerospace course, but it is like something that will complement your understanding in that. Next slide. So these were the courses which I took over my 2 years. And like looking back, it is like I was not memorizing, I was understanding things and like applying it to a greater level. So yeah, if you have, for example, like system theory, like gave me a completely different perspective on how dynamic system works. It is covered the whole principle of linear algebra, which I already learned in MA courses, and yeah, it gave a different perspective over here. Then similarly, mathematical structures like strengthen the mathematical understanding, mathematical tools which are used for control. Estimation on Lie grooves was something very different. It introduced the modern estimation techniques used in robotics and navigation. Then similarly, the remaining electives were like a little bit interdisciplinary and associated to my uh, solid states and like which you are already going to learn. So yeah, they were aligning quite with them and it interested me. So that's the reason I took them. So next slide. So yeah, why should you take this minor? So you should definitely consider if you enjoy mathematics, if you are curious of how systems work, if you are interested in any of the fields, robotics, autonomous systems, AI, research, optimization. But if you when you should stop and like pause and think whether you should really take it when you don't like rigorous mathematics and if you are looking for an easy minor. So Syscon is a bit heavy, but like it's very interesting at the same time. Next slide. So these are a few resources which will help you understand better. Like you can visit the Syscon website. It has almost all the details. Like if you want to learn about control theory, then you should go on Reddit, and this is the like the link. It almost has all the control theory documents and papers, so that would interest you. If you want a playlist, then you should obviously go for Brain Douglas playlist while on control theory. So yeah, uh, next slide. So yeah, so to conclude, control theory is like much bigger than aircraft, robots, or any single engineering discipline. So it's really so like if everything sounds interesting to you, then and if you are comfortable with mathematics, I think control and Syscon minors is definitely worth trying. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kanksha. Next up, we have Samad Martis. He'll be talking about the physics minor recent festival.
Thank you, Gopal. Right. Greetings, everybody. So I am going to be talking about the physics minor. I am a fourth year, going to be fourth year student from the aerospace department, and I started my physics minor in my third semester. So I will be giving you a brief introduction on what it does and what courses you will be required to take. So next slide, please. Goodbye. So uh, the motivation to take a physics minor is usually not the same as other minors. It does not focus as much on application rather than the theory that you learn by taking this minor. For me, because I just simply I wanted to know more about physics, having been a fan of it during JE times. I also work with a lot of computational stuff, so making solvers, running simulations, and I wanted to learn more physics so that I'll be able to simulate a larger range of problems and have cooler things to simulate, basically. So, in that's my reason to take minors. There are some people who just did not think the second time and just took it because it was physics, which is a valid approach as well. And as to what you get by taking this minor, you have like a wide range of topics. Okay, I would argue it's the breadth of the topics is wider than most other minors afford. It gets a bit hectic at times because it's not very easy and requires a lot of work to learn the theory, especially the classical and quantum mech courses. So if you ask some of your other seniors who took their physics minor, you'll get some interesting reviews about these two courses. Uh, Now, there are three compulsory courses, PH 251, 252, and 253. They each run, because of the way slot they run, they all run in the slot 5. And they are also prerequisites of each other. So you have to take them in that order 1, 2, and 3. 251, 252, 253. 251 is a classical mechanics course. It is recommended to start this in the third semester only rather than keep it for the fifth semester. Here you will learn about basic mechanics. You'll learn Hamiltonian and Lagrangian mechanics along with various other models. You'll learn about thermodynamics. And in general, it's a pretty good course for a lot of the broad physics that you deal with on a daily basis. Next comes 252, quantum mechanics. For those of you who are interested in quantum mechanics or want to do something in quantum computing, this is a pretty good course. You learn a lot of things from wave functions to eigenstates to hydrogen and helium atom models. There's a lot of content that's packed into these two courses, and due to that, it can again get very hectic. But all in all, it's a pretty good course in terms of the amount of information it gives you. PH253. This is one is also the prerequisite of this is the first two courses because here we'll be doing quantum statistical physics and classical statistical physics. This was undoubtedly my most favorite course of that semester and of my whole minor for that matter. You get to learn a lot of things from how you define entropy, how you do basic calculation, how you figure out if one thermodynamic state is more favored other. You deal with stuff like Bose-Einstein condensate and all sorts of fermions, baryons, all that sort of thing. So it's a very good course. These three starting courses are on in themselves quite good. You are required to take them, and aside from this, you're supposed to take two more electives. So PH544 general relativity is a pretty popular elective that's taken by many people, even outside the scope of the minor. So it has a lot of tensors and stuff in it. So it's recommended you only do it after 2 to 7. So your solid mechanics course, you'll be introduced to tensors over there. Probably keep 544 until you're finished that. Uh, in the first three courses, yeah, the class sizes are usually around 50 people or so. So you get like you can communicate with the professors quite easily, and they in the end end up knowing you by name and by face. So it's the bonding there is generally much higher than any other course that you take. 544 on the other hand is a pretty big class because so many people take it. So there the dynamics are a bit flipped. Next slide, please. Right. In terms of the electives, so like I said, there are two electives that you must take. 504 is just a recommendation because of the relativity comes up in pretty much everywhere. Uh, Aside from that, these are the list of electives on the left side. So the odd semester and the even semester. I have completed the relativity and the soft matter physics course, which were pretty good. The other people also take the quantum mechanics 3 if you wish to go further after your PH 253 course. And there are also this astrophysics for those of you interested in that, as well as relativistic cosmology. So nonlinear dynamics for people who are interested in controls. That it's pretty interesting stuff, as well as continuum mechanics. So that aligns a lot with the E6104 nonlinear elasticity course. So do consider giving that as a shot as well. All in all, the topics have a lot of kind of theory in them. So on the right, you're seeing a bunch of simulations. So basically, these were the top is the Ising model, which was developed after the statistical physics course, and the bottom is a ray tracer for a black hole, which was developed, which I made after the relativity course. So you get to learn like a lot of theory that you can later apply or simulate later. So it is, from my opinion, a very worthwhile minor to take, just from the pure breadth of the knowledge you learn. So yes, that is all. That's two slides for me.
Thank you so much. So now we'll be moving on to covering honors. So we have Gauri Mahajan. She'll be talking about her knowledge about uh, what it is like pursuing an honors in aerospace. So over to you, Gauri.
Hi guys, am I audible? I think I will be.
Yes, you're audible. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, hi guys, a quick introduction. My name is Gauri Mahajan, currently in my fourth year in aerospace, and I am trying my best to pursue honors. Let's put it there. Okay. So, what I'm here to do primarily is to give you an idea about what an honor tag does for you, how can it help you, where is it more beneficial, and how to go ahead with it. So, Krupa, I think we can go to the next slide. I'm going to keep it as short as you. The slides are not as informative. So if you're interested, please just be a little attentive. So, first off, honors is a very core aerospace related part to be choosing, right? It's putting it out there clearly. If you're interested in a non-core option, this is not something you should be considering. Versus if you're interested in further studies, or even if you want to go directly into a core uh, aerospace industry, let's say with the big players like Airbus, GE, Boeing, etc., they an honor tag goes a long way. So, firstly, what is an honor? As Krupa covered for most of you, and you have your minimum graduation requirements, which in aerospace I think comes up to be around 186 or something of the sorts. And to get an honor, you need to do 24 extra credits from core aerospace, right? So that is a total of either 4 courses or the BTP road. Now, one thing that is good about pursuing an honor is that, as Krupa mentioned, ALCs are courses that do not count towards your CPI. Similarly, honor courses do not count towards your CPI. There's not even a separate SPI per se to get an honor, right? So let's talk about how you can get an honor course. Firstly, reading the fine print, it's not allowed for second year students to take courses that they can tag as honors. So this is something that you need to invest in on your fifth semester, which is your third year onwards, right? So according to the institute rules, in the fifth semester, you can take one course that is 6 credits that you can allot towards honors. In the following 3 semesters, which is sixth, seventh, and eighth, you can take up till 12 credits that you can put towards honors, right?
So, before we get into how you can get an honor tag, if it interests you, we'll talk about why an honor course. When you have a BTech degree which says graduated in aerospace in BTech aerospace with honors, it basically tells the person who's going through your resume, your academic achievements, is that you've taken a little you've taken a coursework that is a little academically heavy, which also helps you specialize more into the field that you are interested in. So, honors primarily helps you most if you are aiming for higher studies or if you're aiming for getting into a core industry career right after you graduate from college. So, there are two I hope that's clear. So we'll get into how can you pursue an honor degree. So you need 24 cumulative core credits. You can majorly get them in two ways. So the most straightforward way is instead of taking just six department electives, you can take 10. So four department electives you take as honors. Something that you have to make sure is that the electives that you are choosing are from the honor basket. So when you open the curriculum link, which is on the IITB Aerospace main page, you can check which department electives. It's also the link has been attached to the slides here, but it's easier to just go to the page and check it. Which department electives come under the honor tag, and each of the specializations are listed separately. So there's one for propulsion, there's one for controls and dynamics, there's one for aerodynamics, and then Krupa, we can go back. Thank you. There's one for aerodynamics and then there's one for structures. So please do make sure that whatever course you plan on putting in your honors is part of the elective basket. The other way to get an honor is a BTP. A BTP stands for a BTech project, right? So the BTP is divided into primarily two parts. There's BTP 1 and there is BTP 2. They have to be completed in two consecutive semesters. So, for example, you can take a BTP in your fifth semester, then you have to necessarily take your BTP 2 in your sixth semester. BTP 1 counts for 6 credits and BTP 2 counts for 12 credits. So 18 credits towards your honors gets completed if you complete both of your BTPs. However, unlike department electives or core electives, BTPs cannot be counted towards your main CPI. BTPs can only be counted towards your honors. The department electives or the core electives that you might take can either be tagged as your DEs or they can be tagged as honors if they fall into the honor basket, right? So if you go down the BTP road, you have to necessarily complete your BTP in these two semesters, two consecutive semesters, and an incomplete BTP does not count towards your honors, right? With a BTP, you've completed 18 credits of the 24. So you need to take another department elective which falls in the honor tag. So those are the primary two ways to get an honor. Either you take four courses that come under the honor electives, or you do a BTP, which is BTP 1 and BTP 2, and you do an elective with that. Krupa, we can go to the next slide. Thank you. So I put this one specifically here because it is a little bit confusing. A lot of people do want to fast track getting their honors. So please keep in mind that according to the institute curriculum, you are only allowed to take one elective towards honors or one BTP, which is BTP 1, during your fifth semester. So this is something that you guys need to think about next year onwards if you want to pursue this. Another thing that I would like to add, that it is beneficial not to just take courses randomly, rather to choose a specialty. For example, if I speak of myself personally, I am more biased towards propulsions and aerodynamics. So it's more logical for me to take courses that come under the honor specialization of either propulsions or aerodynamics. And one setback of sorts or a problem that is faced very regularly is that courses that you might be interested in do not run in every semester, or the professor can decide when they want to run it or when they don't. And as such, completing 6 department electives is already a pretty hectic task in aerospace because of the limited number of DEs that are available. So it's a little beneficial if you think on the lines of a BTP, because BTP helps you specialize in a particular field rather than just going random. And it also takes a load of sharing department electives, right? Another thing in the industry, it's not a sure shot that if you have an honors, it's going to benefit you. Let's say if there is a candidate with an 8.5 CPI and there is a candidate with a 7.5 CPI and an honors, the 8.5 CPI candidate will be given preference. So something that you have to be careful about is, if you're willing to pursue your honors, you need to make sure that it's not getting in the way of your uh, core credits or your minimum graduation requirement credits, because the CPI does matter. If you do have a decent CPI and you feel like you can take up an honor, please do go for it, especially if you're aiming for core. It goes a long way. So that's it from my side. Any questions, as Krupa mentioned, can be addressed in the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Gauri. Next up, we have our senior, Baruni, who will be talking about a dual degree conversion. So, as you may know, our BTech degrees of 4 years, and if you wish to pursue an MTech as well, cumulatively, then you can convert your BTech into a dual degree, which is BTech plus MTech. So, we have our senior, Baruni, who will be talking about this in detail. Over to you, Baruni.
Yeah, thanks for letting me in. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. A very good afternoon. So, as you all are just stepping into uh, uh, your second year, a fifth year probably feels a lifetime away, right? Okay, but the point of bringing in this discussion here was just to keep you all informed of a provision that our campus allows. And yeah, that was the intent. Next slide, please. Okay, so I am Baruni, a final year dual degree student working in aircraft propulsion under the mentorship of Professor Pradeep. So it was during and by the end of third year that I strongly decided to stay back working in aeropropulsion. And what this came along is with a huge dilemma of what next. And so by the end of Sem 6, I realized that the learning that I've had so far and even in the upcoming fourth year was not really satisfactory, and I wasn't content with it. And with this also came that so I didn't take the placement pressure, and I just called I was not so ready to step into the industry right away. And adding on to this was my reluctance and unpreparedness to uh, plan and execute taking up MS abroad. So with all this said, uh, the conversion to a dual degree came to a strategic rescue. So for me, it wasn't a backup plan. And it- so keeping this provision informed to you all as well can serve a potential option. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so talking about some aspects that felt like perks to me are here. Yeah, it is during by the end of third year that you, after having an exposure to four classic aerospace domains: propulsion, aerodynamics, dynamics and control, and structures broadly, you'll have made out, if you want to stay back in core, you would have some affinity towards one among these four domains. And by the end of sixth semester, it's probably too late to pursue any more knowledge and have an exposure. While you've um, had an introduction to how minors and honors go, so that is uh, those are some ways that can help bridge this complaint. But if you're still looking out for an extra more time, just like how we seek 1 or 2 day extension, so this extra 1 year felt like the literal much needed deadline extension for me, allowing me to come back more prepared for placements, and also, as suggested by many professors and people out there, to give PhD and research a serious thought. So now I have got some time to take that. And of course, so an extra 1 year, one academic year on campus allows you to stay connected with all your academic and co-curricular activities as well. And adding on to this, so we don't pay the regular tuition fee. It's a, a tremendously reduced tuition fee, and we can also have the provision to serve TA to serve as a teaching assistant for the final 2 semesters, the ninth and 10th semester. And another provision that the campus is trying out, that the institute is venturing, is tie-ups and partnerships with universities abroad. So DART COSPI, DART, if some of you are aware of, is associated with German universities. So under DART COSPI program, um, we can go on a thesis exchange. So we would be allowed to take up our dual degree project, which is an year-long project. And this can be done in collaboration with a German host university. But the caveats being, you're required to complete all the dual degree graduation requirements by the end of 8th semester. And if you're targeting to sit through placements during your dual degree year, it would be almost very hard to catch up on the placement cell timelines. Yeah, next slide. So, yeah, talking about the curricular requirements, first, the eligibility post for this conversion isn't very stringent. So, as far as I know, the CPI requirement has just been above 7, and meeting honors requirements becomes a mandate, because that is in a way meeting the DD graduation requirements. And as per the timeline, so far it hasn't been very formal of sorts, but I think as years pass, the conversion timeline is going to be more worked upon and can be more systematic, working in line with IEEE. Let's hope for that. But since you can watch out to having all the conversion formalities done by the end of sixth semester. And apart from the eligibility criteria, then what comes to meeting the extra credit requirement for completion of dual degree is outlined as here. So honors, as we heard from Gauri quite clearly, so honors is a must. And then we have extra, we are to need extra 24 credits, and you can have a detailed look over all these catches. And I'm not sure if some of these have been slightly revamped for the upcoming batches. So, just adding on to one thing, while meeting honors requirements, keeping dual degree conversion in mind is, as mentioned by Gauri, about the two routes of meeting honors requirements. The uh, the path that I would prefer and I would recommend is to try out a couple of projects. So, be it if you're not prepared for 18 credit. 18 credits and not risk 18 credits altogether, then at least give supervised learning projects a try in meeting 6 credits. The catch here is to explore how a project, unlike a course project, works with you all. So this helps exploring how does the work ethic how does your work ethic align with that of the professor, and how disciplined you are, or as in how well you are to catch up um, on credit requirement, unlike regular course credits. The reason being, so when it comes to dedicating our time onto just one project, that is to meet 36 credits in a semester, and when we are not really uh, 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 when we are when we feel so directionless about going about with a topic that we ended up landing in. So to avoid all these mishaps last minute, so it is very highly recommended that you try out and get exposed to how projects work. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so just a couple of things to wrap up. Um, you all might be concerned about an extra year being leading into a feeling of missed out. And so, while all these are some things that might bother you and put this option down, if you were to take this option seriously, here are some things that you would need to remember. So, as you all have still got time now, the only important thing is for you to now explore which core domain interests you. And in case you're not able to uh, fix on to one particular domain among these four, or you're interested in having and working on the slightly broader picture and into aircraft design of sorts, that is also welcome. So by the end of third year is when it is recommended to have an idea as to what would you want to do the upcoming year or the upcoming 2 years. And as already mentioned, uh, take never miss out a chance on giving projects a try. So this helps you explore your work ethic, and also try out which lab suits you, which work interests you more, and so on. And who can help you along this way, keep your decisions more informed, is talking to students who work under a particular professor, or so basically talking to the team who is already whom you think has already gone through all of this. Yeah, So this was it from my end. I think any questions can be taken up later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bharani. So next up, guys, we have something very interesting. So now we'll move on from the academic point of view of this session to the more career and practical point of view. So first up, we have Om Munse, a very core intro guy. He'll be discussing and talking about his experiences in core and sharing relevant knowledge. Um, we'll also be covering non-core a little later, so people who are interested in that also, please stay tuned. So over to you, Om.
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
All right. So, who am I? Next slide, please. Yeah. So, I have mostly been working on propulsion for half of my bachelor's degree, but currently I'm exploring aircraft design. Next slide, please. Some notes that any good engineer will tell you that nothing in real life is split in branches. You obviously need knowledge from almost all the branches to do your work. For example, whatever real life work you'll do, it it obviously won't be split into that this is aerospace, this is aerodynamics, this is controls and all. No, you need to figure that out yourself. So, for example, an aerodynamics engineer can use a lot of mathematical modeling and stuff like that to find the best airfoil. Uh, so, I'll take you into my journey so far. Next slide, please. So, in my second year, I did internship in VSSC where I made a surrogate model of Venus entry capsules in order to find the best configuration. So, best in the sense more drag and stable and all. So there were around 120, 125 designs, 125 capsule design space, and all of which obviously cannot be simulated on the computer because of limited resources. And not really limited resources, but like one of them takes like 20 hours to get solved. It's like that. So had to do this key. We simulate 20 and then sort of interpolate using what is known as surrogate modeling. This requires well knowledge of aerodynamics, and I would say that as a general skill, you should really invest yourself into mm, exploring this Linux. You can start with Ubuntu. It's very useful in most of the aerospace companies because Windows and aerospace aren't really good friends, especially when you talk about defense stuff. So in VSSC, what I experienced was there was a lot of restrictions on the use of mobile phones and stuff like that. And the whole of VSSC was kind of disconnected from the internet. So there were internal servers and it was mostly Linux based. The computers were mostly Linux based, as well as there are some softwares which are really useful and that can be accessed only if you know Linux. So I would again stress upon that. And obviously, thank you, Samant, for this, for teaching me this. Next slide, please. So in my as a propulsion engineer in ITV rocket team, I started building hybrid rocket motors out of curiosity. Like I always wanted to do this. So we started with different uh, we started with literature review and stuff like that, and we came to know that we should be using nitrous oxide and wax as propellants. N2O, but one disadvantage of N2O is that it is notoriously difficult to ignite, and this problem was being faced by the our professor and his PhD students. So even after 25 to 30 tests, they couldn't ignite. And when we proposed a solution for the ignition, and it did work on the first go. So uh, during the meet, when we were discussing, me, my junior, and professor, so professor out of the blue asked me, he, Om, you're in third year, right? I said yes. Would you like to go to Russia? I was like, what? Really? So I'm just stressing on the fact that if you just go all in and uh, solve some problem for somebody, they will definitely reward you in some or the other way. Just find a gap, align yourself with your skills that you have. So I like to work on hardware stuff, for example, and I like rocket engines. So that's what that was for me. So that's why you might be liking, say, some software stuff which can be useful for, say, aerodynamics and something like that. Just approach professors, ask them what problems they're facing, solve them. They will definitely lead you in a good way, in a good path ahead. Next slide, please. So yeah, so professor sent me on an educational trip to Samara, and I came to know about this university, and it's a very good university. IITB and Samara, they are collaborating with each other. In future, there will be definitely doors open for you. Examples can be, say, so currently Samara and few Chinese universities, they have this option like people from the Chinese university, they go for 1 year or 2 year in Samara to study. They live here. I've met some of them there, and yeah, that can be done here as well if you guys want. So I'm in touch with the professors there in Samara. If we all push forward for this, and it definitely can be done. So currently there are BTPs and SLPs that are being offered by professors here, uh, as well as there's a new department open for us of the nano satellites. So it's currently in the process. We'll let you know about that soon. Okay. What else? About Samara. Samara is in Russia. It's the aerospace city of Russia. And to tell you how important Samara is, think of it as uh, you can. It was during the Soviet times a secret city. Even many Russian citizens, they weren't even allowed to enter the city. Forget buildings, forget institutions. The entire city was blocked for them. It was like that. It was Cold War era and stuff like that. And culture is obviously amazing. People are very welcoming there in Samara. There is, I mean, India and Russia are friends, so there is literally no racism. Sort of one good point would be this. And by the way, we happened to spot an actual rocket in the city. So that's an actual rocket, not a model, not something made of plastic or something. Actual rocket placed inside the city. Uh, and they have currently, so the university is currently has currently multiple CubeSat missions, which is something to be noted of because, well, none of the IITs have that. So they're better and in terms of aerospace. So, yeah, next slide, please. About startups, so I'm currently working on long endurance drones, building it. So that is the software you can see. I coded that in Python and myself, not myself, but like math was done by me, literature was done by me, and syntax was Gemini Claude and all that. But that's fine, and it flew well. So next iteration is up. So what I will say is that it's not obviously necessary to build your own venture, but the mindset, it helps a lot. That you should you should think of a system as a whole. You should take the lead, speak up, uh, uh, come up with initiatives, and yeah, that at the end, I would say that you should be hard to ignore. If you are going in code, it should be hard to ignore. Bring skills, learn, do hardware, not only software, and just be hard to ignore. That's all I would say.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Saman, who will also be covering different research opportunities. What do you, Saman?
Right. Yes, thank you, Prabha. By greetings, everybody, once more. Yes, please go to the next slide. So, yes. Uh, so, within research and aerospace is a huge field, okay? There are on almost any topic that you wish, you can work towards it, either through professors within our campus or externally. So we are in IIT Bombay. There's a huge host of professors right here who specialize in all kinds of fields. And no matter what topic you're thinking, there will probably somebody, some professor who's working adjacent to that field. And well, since you're in your second year, this is a pretty good time to approach professors because in my second year, I had after my solid mechanics course was over, I have been working with Professor Krishnendu Haldar ever since that day. So for what, it's been 1.5 years now. And he mentioned that often his students who have graduated, they often wish that they had started earlier. So it is a very good time right now to approach professors on some topic I think is interesting. So I am particularly I like computational mechanics, so making simulations. So you can see here, right, that my BTech project, I'm pursuing an honors as well. So my BTech project was on simulation of these things called auxetic materials. And this was a topic that's completely given by me because I read some paper that I found very interesting, and I suggested the topic and I held the timeline of it. So depending on the prof and depending on your topic, you often have a lot of freedom on what you want to learn and what you want to do. Some other topics that I've worked on include using CFD for writing CFD solvers, as well as thermomechanical simulations. So when I first approached Professor Haldar, Krishnan Haldar, we were working on thermoelectric and photovoltaic cells. So it after like 6 months of work, we have even went and presented the conference in IIT Kharagpur, as well as we have written a funding proposal for DRDO after one of the professors over there showed interest in our work and in the fabrication of these devices. So there is a lot of opportunity on what your work can accomplish. So if you put enough time and effort into it, you can often fabricate whatever you're working on, or you can also send it for funding or send it for conferences. Often, many of my friends have submitted their research work for conferences here and abroad and have presented over there. So it's a pretty good opportunity to consider. Uh, so for most, since from you're from aerospace, most of you will be interested in something like fluid simulations or maybe in structural simulations, controls and propulsion as well. But I think Om talked about that, so I'll leave that to him. Uh, so if you're working somewhere in CFD, then Professor JC Mandal or Professor Prabhu, who will be taking your AIDS course, I believe, they work a lot and they work primarily in the CFD. So approaching them, trying to get like an understanding of what topics you could learn to further your understanding on this topic. That is a pretty good thing you should consider trying. If you're working somewhere in structure, then you have Professor Halda, you have Professor Guglapati sir. So look into the aerospace department faculty, see what they're interested in, and if anybody catches your eyes, please mail them. They'll be happy to talk to you. And since you're within the campus, you can easily schedule a meet at any time of either of your conveniences, and you can discuss the opportunities for collaboration. In terms of research, there are obviously SLPs and BTPs. So the simulation that I'm showing over here on the top right, the auxetic material, that involved writing a custom solver using these node spring based methods. And that is part of my bachelor project, BTP. It was for BTP 1 and for BTP 2, I need to improve upon it, as well as present it for a conference in, I think, a couple of days. There are other opportunities like not working for an SLP, obviously, where you can take like a semester long project. Instead, you can simply choose to not work for credits. That is also an option that's not discussed very often. If you simply want to take it as a not as rigorous, but over a longer span of time, Then working without credits is also an option. So the first project that I worked on, thermoelectrical devices, that was not credited, and that lasted for like a year and lasted for about a year. So that is also an option you should look into, not necessarily for credits, but just for the sake of learning it. In addition, there are working with professors often involves they referring you to some other faculty who's working on a topic adjacent to you. Like one of my friends got referred to this faculty in the UK, and she's studying there now. So that is also a good option. Of course, higher studies, if you're planning on pursuing a master's or trying like a direct PhD, then having a research project under your resume is pretty important because it shows that you're actually done research and you're interested in it. And right, one more thing I was asked to talk about was about the GATE examination. So for those of you who are not familiar, the GATE exam, I forgot the full form of that acronym, is an exam you can write in either in a third or a fourth year. You can write it both years. It essentially is a paper for graduate studies. I believe that's what the G stands for. So writing it is a uh, uh, pretty good opportunity because once you write it, that opens opportunities for master study within most Indian colleges, including IISc, as well as opportunities for working in industry. So you have various PSC, public sector undertakings, that filter by your gate ranks. And a good gate rank is also necessary for ISRO working in some startups. It's a pretty good thing to have in your resume point. So look into GATE as well. It's mostly a aerospace curriculum. That's nothing extra that you need to learn. It's not too hard. And yeah, so that is, I think, all I need to solve, all I need to speak about. There are a lot of opportunities on any topic you want. There's somebody working on it. Feel free to reach out. Do not hesitate that you don't know any topic enough, because you generally learn the topic while you're doing the project rather than already know it beforehand and then come and do it. So yes, that is all from my end. Yeah, you can move on.
Thank you so much, Saman. Now we'll move on to the non-core side of opportunities that people can pursue. First, we have Sriram. He'll be covering what different opportunities um, in software look like from an aerospace student's point of view. Over to you, Sriram.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes,
After almost 1.5 hours of listening to code, let's switch gears and talk about non-course side. I'll be specifically covering about IT and software. And about me, I'm Sriram Jadhav, a 2B fourth year student in aerospace, and I'm a software developer at Xenia. And I'll give you a broad perspective on IT and software. Next slide, please. So yeah, IT and software, most of the people that hear about it, they are like it's just coding, but actually there's a much broader scope in that. There are specifically four types of areas in which you can work in. I'll go through it once. So first is development. Development is the first thing that comes when we talk about software to your mind. So it's basically just building websites, mobile applications, backends, cloud services, APIs, using frameworks to like build something. Next is analytics. So companies usually collect huge amount of data, and the job of an analytic is to improve product. To give an example, for example, an analytical job in Swiggy is like to like he'll look if orders are less being delivered in an area, and he'll like go through that data, find out insights about it, and then suggest it to the company to make the product better. Next is AIML. It's basically computers learning patterns. So we train models to learn from data. Your movie recommendation systems like Netflix, like you have your computer vision and language models like ChatGPT, building them, learning them, how to implement them and use them in businesses. That's basically AIML. And the fourth one is research. This is more on the academic side. So it's basically developing new algorithms, models, technologies, build something on top of which is already built, something new. And usually people who are doing research, as you heard from Samantha also, like they usually go to PhD or research heavy roles. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the question now, how do I get into software? The first thing that comes to anyone who is currently pursuing software, be it internship or placements, that is DSA. I can't stress enough how important this thing is. For those who don't have context, DSA simply means puzzles that are meant to be solved with code. So it is basically something which companies use to gauge you on basis of your attitude and how much hard work have you done in that. To give you context on how important DSA is, so to generalize a company's recruitment process, there's usually an online assessment which goes on for 1 hour. In that, DSA is asked. When then they filter out the top people from that, and then they keep an interview. In that interview, the first 20 to 30 minutes is DSA. They ask DSA questions, and we have to answer, like solve them in front of them basically. So if we consider 2 hours of recruitment, 1 hour 20 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes is just DSA. So how to start DSA basically? You start by a language. You pick C++, Java, or Python. Choose one, stick to it. I would recommend C++ because it's the most go-to language. Java is a little difficult, and Python is least preferred by companies. The people who do coding in Python are less preferred compared to C++ and Java. And yeah, practice problems. Where can you find practice problems? Lead code has a lot of problems. If you are into competitive programming, code forces have many contests that are going on. There's code chef. If you don't know how to start, like, it's a very broad topic. There are a lot of roadmaps. It's a very well researched or well educated topic that is there. So you can follow roadmaps. Personally, I followed Stiver's A to Z DSA sheet. There's also Neat Code 150. There are a lot of resources available on YouTube. Every topic on DSA, every lead code question is available on YouTube. So basically, everything is available. You just have to implement. And how do you implement? The consistency matters and not the quantity. Because if you suppose do 2 to 3 problems a day and keep that consistent, it's much better than doing 20 problems a day and taking a 2 week break. Also, I like this quote which applies to DSA and in general to every aspect of our life. It only seems daunting until it becomes familiar. So more and more, when you approach that problem, more and more you get familiar with it. It becomes much easier. And the meme on the right like summarizes, and I can't stress enough how relevant this meme is for SD roles basically. And next slide, please. Yeah. Other than that, when companies take our interviews, they expect that you have some prior knowledge or some prior skills. Basically, you have to build your software profile that you can put on your resume. The first important thing is get a minor. Like you can pursue CSE, C minds. You talk to your seniors. You find out which is most important, which you like, which you want to pursue. And why am I saying this? Because when companies come, they have some criteria which you need to fulfill before you set into the recruitment process. And one some many companies, suppose they don't allow aerospace students to sit in them, but they allow people who are pursuing C minor or CSE minor to get into the recruitment process. So having that minor is good. You have CSE electives, you have CSE electives and other electives that you can follow. For some software projects, you can do self projects. You can talk follow YouTube. YouTube has a lot of resources on that. You have Udemy, Coursera, which has courses. You can approach you can approach PORs basically. So DevCom, WNCC, AIC, Analytics Club, DAB, these all have PORs which work on software projects that you can put on your resume. So this is where you gain experience. You can approach tech teams when their recruitment, especially software subsystems, because they usually apply more uh, uh, AI ML on real life projects if you want to go into that direction. There are a lot of professors, CSE professors, which you can approach to follow a research project on that. And then you can maybe cold mail on LinkedIn. Hey, I want to gain some experience. This is my resume. This is all I know. Can I work with you for this like winter break or summer break? There are a lot of course projects. Like people put course projects on their resumes. Like the top projects are course projects. So search for courses which have good projects and like take those courses. There is SOC, SOS, WITS. You must be familiar with that. I don't know, but basically they have a lot of projects designed by IITB students, basically third year, fourth year people, second year, third year, fourth year people, and they have a proper guide how to cover a project. So just go through the website, whatever projects you like, approach that mentor who has designed the flow, ask them for the GitHub repository. How did they complete this project, and just apply. There are also hackathons which WNCC conducts. There are external hackathons. There's GSOC, that's a good opportunity. And yeah, CPI to some degree is important because, as I said, companies have some criteria which you need to fulfill. Many companies keep their CPI criteria as 8. People above 8 are able to sit in that company. So just try to keep your CPI above 8 and you are like 95% sorted. And if you are still confused what to do, how do I start? Check out the placement resume repository. It's a gold mine. If you don't know what you want to do, you can just follow the projects that your seniors have done. Like you can find people's resumes who have cracked Amazon, who have cracked Google, and you can basically follow their projects, what they did. You can contact them and apply it, and you can ask the damn fee for that. Next, please. Rupa, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Tupac.
Yes. So after that, what's the scope in IT and software? Since it's the most pursued thing currently in almost every college in India. So there's you can go to corporate. There you have many roles: software development engineer, data analyst, ML engineer, quantitative roles. You can like build your own startup. Suppose Zepto, Razorpay, Postman, Grow, all these are startups which people have an idea and they start to build it. So basically you have an advantage that you yourself are building your project. You can take all your decisions then and there. It's a steep learning curve. It's quite difficult, but it's good. If you have an idea, you can implement it. And of course you can go to higher studies. There are many research internships abroad. There are you can do MS MTech, you can do PhD. There are many research roles in companies. There are many research interns. Suppose IBM and Google, they all have their own research teams. There are R&D roles. And if you want to go through all the roles, you should check out internship and placement blogs, because that's where everything is given, like which company comes, what roles they offer, and most important to us is what pay they give us. So basically you can just analyze it and just move forward with it. Yeah, that's it from my side.
And again, guys, if any of you have any doubts related to the same about the essay or what to pursue, or if you want to go into it, uh, I'll be sharing these slides. It does have the contact number of all the speakers in the session, so you can reach out to them later. on an individual basis as well. Okay. So next up, we have opportunities in non-core. This is for all the people interested in consulting out there. Or there are a lot of you interested in non-core as well. And managing PORs, of course, something which is specifically very relevant to you guys in your second year. So I would like to invite Chaitanya Patel. Over to you, Chaitanya.
Hello, Krupa. Hi, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Can you please check?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes. Next slide, please. So, hi, everyone. I'm Chaitanya Patel. I'm currently interning at Nomura Research Institute as a summer associate. I'll be sharing some insights about what consulting role really is about. So, I'm pretty sure you might be knowing that consulting is about helping companies solve their issues which they can't generally solve, be it profitability issue, be it they want to enter some market in some particular geography, etc. We give company a very different perspective. See, you might be wondering that company must already be knowing that what issues they are facing and how to solve it. But the thing is, we provide them a 30,000 feet overview about how to solve a problem because we have catered so many clients. We give them an overall overview that what sort of thing is happening really in the market. Second thing is we help companies validate their ideas and we help them to say, yes, you have got this trusted thing from NRI, from McKinsey, from Bain, then yes, you can go forward with your idea, you can validate your ideas, etc. Okay. Coming to pros and cons of consulting. So there obviously are pros and cons to anything. Positive sides of consulting are people. You get to work with the smartest minds. Generally, consulting firms hire people from top IITs and top IIMs. So you are surrounded with similar-minded people. Next is steepest learning curve. I'm pretty sure you will get the steepest learning curve in consulting because you are exposed to multiple industry-related problems. Third is there are multiple exit opportunities present in consulting. You can go in finance, be it venture capital firm, be it investment banking, or be it private equity. You can also choose to do an MBA later in your life, or you can also start your own startup because this is what people do. They go into consulting, they get to know about many industries, then they find a particular loophole, and they try to solve the loophole by themselves because they are exposed to multiple uh, industry issues. Okay. Third is perks, be it traveling and staying or going to clubbing. So there is a saying in consulting which is you work hard and you party harder. So there are similar perks in consulting. The negative aspects of consulting are long working hours. I'm pretty sure you must have heard it from your seniors as well that consulting में जाओगे तो you have to work from 9 in the morning to 2 in the morning in the next day. So yeah, this is quite true. Well, it depends firm to firm, but generally the perception of consulting is you have to work long hours. Second is generalist approach. You won't be able to specialize in anything, and you will easily get burnout in 2 to 3 years. Next slide, please, Rupa. Yeah. So coming to the opportunities. So in IIT Bombay here, day one companies are in non-tech are of consulting domain or in finance domain or in supply chain domain. In consulting, particularly day one companies and the consulting companies in general, which show up in the internship season are MBB, which is McKinsey, Bain and BCG, Strategy Ampersand, LEK, NRI, PwC. And these are some prominent names. Occasionally, KPMG also comes, but I guess it offers auditing role apart from consulting role as well. What companies look in you. So uh, generally consultants are overall very sane person and a street smart person. You need not to be an academically oriented ruttu or nerdy people which is specializing in some particular subject. You need to be overall a good problem solver, good at communication, able to juggle up between multiple things and has varied experiences. So to make a resume for consulting particularly, you need to live a life. You need to live a life which consists of every experience you can do in your insta life itself, be it in cultural, sports, taking up PORs, maintaining good CPI, etc., or doing a research intern or corporate intern in general. For consulting particularly, there are some peak points, which are CPI, POR, professional experience, extracurriculars, and international exposure. I would recommend you all, if you are targeting consulting, then you should take up as many things as possible in your Insta life, experience as much as possible, take up PORs, and maintain a good CPI because these are all the perk points which consulting company look for. Coming to the POR point, I guess Krupa will share you something about POR, how she has managed. So yeah, I was ECell manager, and Krupa has very varied experience in managing a lot of POR. So she fits better for explaining you guys. Handing over to you, Krupa.
Thank you so much. So, guys, this is the last part of our session today. Something very relevant to all of you, which is going to be managing PORs. So, currently, I'm sure a lot of you might have already taken up PORs, whether it is being in a tech team, being in any of the clubs of different councils, or any other PR that you might have taken up. So, in general, uh, a personal advice from my side to you is that in your second year, there is a drastic transformation in the level of academics from your first year courses to your core courses. Academics can get very daunting at times, and paying a good amount of attention to your academics, ensuring that you attend all your classes, you finish all your assignments on time, you prep well for your exams is very important. In the midst of taking up PORs and working for them, academics tend to get neglected a lot of times, and it is extremely important to do so. Personally, in my second year, given the courses that we had, such as control theory, solid mechanics, I tend at that point of time, I feel I took up quite a few PORs, and managing those with academics got a little difficult, and somehow my extracurriculars got in the way of my academics. So personally, I think while PORs are a very good way of getting to meet new people, uh, you get to learn a lot in whatever respective domain you've taken up the POR in. Of course, it is very good for your resume as well, which is something that drives a lot of people to take PORs in the first place. But ensuring that academics are always at the top priority is something you need to keep in your mind at all times. They're really good for extracurriculars and to get a good break from the monotony of academics, but managing both equally is very important. And of course, your personal life, your health, that is of utmost priority. If that is neglected, all of the other pillars just come tumbling down. So, just a personal advice, which I'm sure you must have heard from a lot of people, and it sounds cliche as well, but is extremely, extremely important to be stressed on, is that your academics should be prioritized, and PORs are something that you need to think about before, like, you need to think about how you'll be managing them before you take them up. You can talk to seniors. If you're looking to take any POR, talk to the relevant people. You can contact me if you have any doubt. I'll help out in whatever way I can. And I think that is pretty much it from my side as well. Here I've provided all the contact details of all the speakers of today's sessions. If you have any questions, you can ask them right now if they're still in the meet. Some of them had to leave because of some prior commitments. If not, you can feel free to contact any of them. I've provided the contact numbers. I'll be sharing the slides very soon after the meet ends. So you can contact any of them to clarify your doubts. And thank you so much for being a part of this session. You've had a lot of patience to stay throughout the meet. And if there's any questions, you can shoot your shot or you can contact them later on. Otherwise, you're free to leave the meet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Krupa. I'll end the
Thank
meeting
you
now.
so much. Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.